Welcome to Stargate SG1 for the first time. Still not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the first time.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm also watching Stargate SG1 for the first time. However, I actually have seen this show quite a bit before, 47 times to be exact. However, for the very first time, I am watching this show intentionally looking for messages that maybe I've just never thought about before. You know, those good sci-fi messages that sci-fi uniquely is positioned to do. Things that give us hope that things are going to be better in the future. Things that hold up a mirror to society and show us how awesome or stupidly ugly we are, or just teaching us how to be plain better human beings to one another.
We're going to do that today by watching the 10th episode of the third season of SG1, Forever in a Day. Last week, I guessed what this one was going to be about, and I thought it might be a sequel or an inspired by Brief Candle. Basically compressing someone's lifetime where they live forever in a day. And we'll find out if that happens. Before we get there, though, Brent, why don't you tell us a bit about this episode?
Jeff, I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser for this episode.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
All right, here's your teaser. This is an episode that you don't realize it right now in this moment. You will by the time it's done. You have been waiting for this episode for a long time.
Really?
I know you. I've known you for a very long time at this point. I've worked with you a lot. You have been waiting for this episode for a long time, and you don't even know why right now. You'll find out, though.
Oh, my gosh. Expectations right now
just
went...
No. That says nothing about the quality of the episode.
Fair enough. All right.
The episode could be way up here. It could be here. I'm just saying you have been waiting for this episode for a long time.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
This is not the TKO of SG1. At least I don't think it is.
That's too bad.
It's not that. But we'll talk about that more on the backside when we have a chance to watch the episode here in just a few minutes, because, Jeff, we're going to do that. Actually watch the episode. But before we get there, this is, as you mentioned, the 10th episode, Season 3, Forever in a Day. Air date, October 8th, 1999. In case you're keeping track, last time was August 20th. So we've had a little bit of a break. Hey, listen, not bad. New season premieres. They get 9 episodes in a row. Bam, 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 bam. It's time for a little break. You know, they took a few weeks off. So October 8th. This episode is written by our show creator, one of our show creators, Jonathan Glassner.
Okay. Wow.
Directed by our resident Alfred Hitchcock, Peter DeLuise. So we'll be on the lookout for that cameo as we go into that. That's all I got for you on the front end of this, Jeff. There is quite a bit on the back end I want to share.
Okay.
But I can't do it until we watch the episode. Otherwise, I'm going to give the whole dang thing away. So,
man, I want to do this. I want to see this thing.
With that, it's time for us, as I mentioned just a second ago, we're going to go watch this episode. If you guys are joining us for the very first time, here's how this works. For the third time, I'm going to say, Jeff and I are about to go watch this episode right now. But we're not going to pause the recording and go watch the episode and then come back as some other people do. We're going to keep the recording going. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, you're actually going to get our reactions. This is going to turn into a reaction video. You'll get our reactions to this episode live as they happen. If you want the full unedited version of this entire thing, the behind the scenes, no cuts, all the bloopers, all this, the other stuff, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/badnerds. And you can check out how you can get that, along with a whole other list of really cool benefits and, you know, even how you can make a whole bunch of new friends.
If you're one of our awesome audio podcast listeners, thank you for leaving us that 5-star review. It means the world to us. After you've gone and left us that review, if you haven't already, but go do that really quick. Then we're going to meet you on the other side of the episode. I'm going to share my first-time reactions. Brent's going to share the sci-fi messages he pulled out of it. Brent, let's do this. Forever in a Day.
Let's go.
Clear.
It's not who you're expecting.
For a second, I thought they were locking people up. Hey, that's dude.
Yes, good father, we got your message.
They took him.
It's good father.
The son of my daughter.
Secrets, right? Secrets. She had the baby.
There.
So if you remember, flashback, the last time we saw Good Father, we saw Sha're, she gave birth to the baby.
Yep.
The baby that, remember, it's forbidden among the Goa'uld for two hosts to mate and produce an offspring for reasons. Do you remember what those reasons were?
I don't remember the reasons.
I don't remember that
I
told you, but
I remember that when the baby's in utero, it basically blocks the symbiote. So like that's got to be at least part of it.
Sure. So reasons, and if you'll remember, the baby was born, they wound up giving the baby to, well, we're going to call him Good Father. I forget his actual character's name.
That's like
Daniel's
Kafik
father-in-law.
or something like that, but yeah.
Because
Kasuf.
No, Kasuf is somebody. Wait, Martuf is the
Martuf's the Jolinar dude.
Yeah. Kasuf? Whatever.
Good father.
Good Lord. I've just watched the show too many times. I just don't remember. But anyway, they gave it to him to like go hide the baby because who else would you give it to hide from?
Yeah. Well, didn't they say that Harr took it and then that like staved off Apophis or whatever?
They lied and said Harrow took it, and that's why Harrow and Apophis were fighting.
Yeah. When
Apophis like bit it, and Harrow killed Apophis to send him to Sokar and all that sort of stuff.
And as they were Aminette?
Aminette is the name of the Gould that's in Sha're.
Yeah, so she was Aminetted back up and walking into the Stargate, and she looked right at the baby and Daniel and everybody and just walked through the Stargate.
And didn't say a word.
Yeah.
So
I actually remember all that. So.
Yeah, good. Previously on Stargate SG1. Here we go. I hate it when closed captioning gets things spelled incorrectly.
Oh, shoot!
That's Harrow's dude, right?
Yeah, and that's so Sha're and the oh man. The Apophis is dead. Is she with Harrow now?
I like how their armor isn't doing jack.
I like how he's like trying to walk. He's like, this is really heavy.
I always like the stunt guy that face plants in their legs.
Are those Jaffa? This is the most intense firefight we've had on the show to date.
Here goes Jack now being...
They're like, we have a few extra bucks this season. Let's go ahead. Let's get a bazooka, an RPG, a big old chain
Let's
gun.
get a mount tank.
Like all of Horror's forces. Like this is ground zero.
Don't move.
She is beautiful.
Where's the boy?
She? I mean, good night. Like,
Where you and the system lords will never find him.
How much conflict he's got to have right now if he's holding a gun at his wife and she's about to give him a hand.
it's a PG-13 joke, Jeff. Look, she's hand thinking, and she's hand.
No, Sha're, fight it.
My host cannot help you.
Whatever she's doing, she's taking her sweet time. Oh no! You know what's up, bro. Just. That has to be the most intense, exciting cold open to date by far.
You think so?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Huge firefight. All of Horror's dudes there. Sha're hand blasting Daniel, and then
that is not what you called it.
I did not. I'm correcting on the path. But am I come on. It really is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what's happening right now, Jeff? Everybody who's watching is loving the way you're reacting because we've all seen this however many times and we're just like, yeah, that's what happens. You're like, oh my God. I'm like, oh yeah, it actually is that good, isn't it? I forgot about
this is
that.
awesome.
Yeah,
this is so good.
Yeah.
And this is what I thought the season one, with some changes because Apophis has already gone, but like this is the Daniel Sha're, Daniel Aminette thing because it sounds like Sha're. Oh my God, let's just get back into it. I got to shut up and watch.
Yeah. Don't take a lot of notes, man. Just watch.
It is I who am responsible. I was forced to fire upon and terminate the life of Sha're.
Good for him for just saying it and owning it, but oh my God.
Save her life.
No.
No?
No. They have a sarcophagus. She's still out there somewhere alive.
Like, I feel all bunched up in my stomach over this. Like, oh man.
Kazu.
My son, it's a sad day for us all.
No, I know this will be difficult for you to understand, Kazuf, but the demon inside your daughter will help her rise again.
Is this true?
Not this time. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Credit to whoever the guy is doing the score.
Oh my
on
God.
This episode. Just amping the level of all of this up.
I love that Tilk is staying with him, not hiding from anything. Is that Deloise?
Why didn't you leave her there?
I don't think it is. I'm sorry. I have to go back and check now. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt this moment.
I know.
But maybe that might be him.
There were no they left.
We were victorious, Daniel Jackson. We brought Kasuf to prepare her body according to Abydonian tradition.
The good news is we managed to save most of the Abydonians.
And for that, eternally grateful.
You should have waited longer. I would have gotten through to her.
She was trying to kill you, Daniel.
No, she wasn't trying to kill me.
You dropped your gun.
Amanette was trying to kill me.
If I had to do it again,
No, don't.
I would do the same.
Don't. It's cool you're his friend. You didn't need to say that last piece. Still, he did. Wow. I would not want to be Daniel right now.
That could be him. I can't definitively confirm.
So just like, I want to put myself in the mind space of Daniel really quick because, and by doing that, like, I'm just trying to, have some empathy and put myself in that place. The love of my life is hand blasting me slowly. Like that was like, she could have just, but she's drawn that out. Right. And it's not going well.
Well, hold on. Can I correct that just for a second? If you noticed, he did the slow, no, Sha're.
Yeah.
It wasn't that she was drawing it out and hanging it out as much as the show was showing you time slowing down.
It was slow.
For
Okay.
Daniel is kind of what was happening. Just to
Okay.
be clear, because if they ribbon device you, they kind of got to sit there for a minute to like they can blast you and shoot you backwards, or they can, and it takes them a moment to really get you down.
Okay.
So the implication in that scene was that not that time had slowed. It's like we were suddenly watching it in slow mo. Like Teal'c was coming in like is really
That makes sense. But yeah, he's in that moment and he has a narrative that it was going to be okay. Right. But we've seen that
because he
happen.
felt like he was getting through, because you got to imagine, I would think if you're in that position, time does sort of slow down.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So he feels like he's getting through the parasite to his wife, who, whatever, like,
because last time he saw her, he got Sha're.
Yeah.
And so that's, and then Amanette came back. So that was his last memory. But like, I'm just trying to put him in the place where we've spent now 2.5 years of him, trying to figure out a way to get his wife back, the love of his life.
Yeah.
Even if Teal'c hadn't come in and killed her, even if he had just come in and, shoulder tackled her or whatever, or they did sarcophagus her, she tried to kill him.
Yeah.
But now she's dead. He's got to I don't know. I'm just trying to really put wrap my mind around all the things he has to process right now, all at the same time. And then Teal'c did the right thing, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
This might be something to discuss later when we get to the actual show, but there is a very human need to place blame.
Oh yeah.
When something happens, like and he just said, you should have waited longer. I would have gotten through to her. And he's like, no, actually I shouldn't have.
Right. I probably should have got there a little sooner. Yeah.
And, and we always want to place blame at the feet of one person. We want to boil it down to it's your fault, and I'm going to say human need. I don't know that this is a worldwide basic human thing as much as it might be an American thing, because it's something we certainly do here in this country.
That we do. Yeah.
I don't know about the people in the rest of the world if it's the same way in their countries as well. I can't speak to that, but
that's fair.
My human experience tells me people just instinctively feel the need whenever something happens to go, it's your fault. And almost it's never the fault of the person who's actually the perpetrator. It wasn't Share's fault, or not even Sha're. It wasn't Amanette's fault. It was Teal'c's fault.
Yeah. So let's get that. But wow, this is big.
Sha're saw me writing in my journal and thought the ballpoint I was using was magic.
Great acting there.
Simplest
The tapping,
things were a
you can
wonder, too.
feel that compassion.
Daniel, it's healthy to hold on to those memories.
I don't want to take it away from Michael Shanks either. He's killing it right now.
I couldn't save her. All those wonders we have at our disposal, and I couldn't save her.
Let me know if you need anything, okay?
I love how this show just really leans on the strongly developed friendships, that they have. This isn't the first time.
Yeah. It's nice. That was a commercial cut, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're awake. He's awake. Hey, how do you feel?
Confused.
I bet.
You're alive.
I am.
As are most of our people. Thanks be to you.
You're living
Thanks
in
be
your
to all of
brain
you.
right now.
He's gonna be okay.
Oh, it looks that way. Yeah.
Danielle, we were about to do an HJ. What do you say?
I only came to tell you about the boy.
Is there something I can help you with, Dr. Jackson?
I've come to tender my resignation.
I won't accept it.
I'm not military, sir, and it's a free country. Last I checked, anyway.
You're obviously in an emotional state right now. Why don't you take some personal time, then see how you feel?
That's not necessary, sir. I joined this program so that I could find my wife. I found her. End of story.
It's true.
I wonder how long it really would take him to pack up his office, lab, quarters.
Meet the whiz kid they saddled us
area
with
there.
while you're out of commission. Give it a week. You'll miss me.
Yes, all the salty, bad-tempered insults, all the illogical arguments.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Carter and Teal'c.
Bro, you should have just said Carter.
I'll miss Carter.
Yeah.
And you'll miss the excitement. All the new cultures you get to explore, the living history.
Up until now, every time I set foot through that gate, I was thinking about my wife.
You know, he's been with multiple women between then and... I mean, he was under the influence each time, but...
That's why I can't do it
Hathor and the, like...
Was he really under the influence each time?
I hope you understand.
Exactly, right?
The SGC may be the single most important human endeavor for the future of mankind.
Like how he rattles that off the top of his head.
Bad, huh?
Been working on the pitch.
The SGC will go on without me.
It all fits in one box.
Please get out of my way, Teal'c.
I will.
As soon as you give me
But
a
you
hug.
must hear me first.
I have a pretty good idea what you want to say.
Good. Well, then hear it.
Is there not some form of human ritual in which I may ask your forgiveness?
No.
No.
I just spent time thinking about Daniel, but Teal'c, I mean, he could have watched his friend die or kill his friend's wife.
Yep. It's a pretty crappy arrangement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now what? Now I get on with my life.
Hear me, Danielle.
They all start with that, right? So there's something, some message she's trying to convey. The host got some message through.
Go back to sleep.
She's never worn that before.
You'll rise and return to your travels through the Sha're.
Welcome to Earth.
No, I won't.
You know what she just said? She's like, you're going back to work,
I
Jack.
don't need to anymore. I've already found you.
You must continue so you can find the boy. To continue your travels, you must first forgive Teal'c.
She's almost like his Jiminy Cricket coming in and kind of directing him, letting his conscience be his guide.
This scene has a really cool detail, Jeff. I wanna pay attention to it. Yeah, it's pretty dope. You see what's right in front of him?
It's almost like a cross.
Nope. What's on the end of each side of the cross?
Those bones?
No.
I speak for Sha're, who can no longer speak for herself. Demi-DW gurach. If my heart weighs more than a feather, my soul still contains sin. If not, may my soul join the god.
It's a beautiful ritual.
By the trial of the great scales, thy heart is light. Thy soul has been found true.
My heart is still burdened.
Why? Your daughter is with the god.
But you still have not heard her.
I don't understand.
What she has to say is important to all of our future.
You must forgive Teal'c, and together you must find the boy.
Why?
For he is Harsesis, the one who
Harsesis?
holds the secrets.
The boy is the son of 2 Goa'uld hosts. He contains all the secrets of the Goa'uld. You must find him.
What's Teal'c doing here, Jeff?
Forgiveness work.
Am I interrupting?
What is
It's
this?
good to see you, Daniel Jackson.
You know what this is?
Oh, yeah, it's the thing. I forget the name of it. It's got a
What do the Vulcans call it?
something.
I always think of the word for the Jaffa, not the Vulcans, but it's the
What
same
happens
idea.
if 2 goulded hosts have a
Oh.
child?
It
Pay
is
attention to
strictly
this.
forbidden, and punishable by death. If 2 hosts were to mate and produce a child, that child would contain all the knowledge of the Goa'uld.
So the genetic memory that Gould have in their DNA is passed on to the human offspring.
That is correct. Such children are called Harsesis. These children are hunted down and destroyed by the Goa'uld with great impunity. Daniel Jackson, it pleases me greatly that once again, you value my knowledge.
Trying to get Robert out of your unit?
Well,
No,
yeah.
just trying to get you back.
Any chance of that happening, sir?
Only chance would be if you reconsidered.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. So Rothman's got... What?
Okay. Let's just say that there's something through the Stargate that I think I still have to be the one to find.
Now, see, I missed that. I have no idea what he means, but I buy it. What do you say, General?
Haven't put through his resignation papers yet.
Good. So he's in.
Just like that.
So, Bruce Jenner. Sit this one out. Huh?
I've never heard that before.
Why?
Hashtag didn't age well.
You've been reassigned
No,
to
it
another
didn't.
unit. Why?
Because you suck.
Okay, you're being replaced.
Why?
Because I'm intimidated by your intelligence. Where's the confusion here?
What?
So I'm going to
the
bring in
other
someone
guy's
with an
back?
even bigger
Damn.
brain. I like that purple color there.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's good to have you back.
Hey! Where'd he go?
The address cleared before I got here.
I didn't say my money's on Abydos.
Or wherever this is. This isn't Abydos. I don't know where this is.
Yeah.
This
There's a
is
lot
not
of greens.
Abydos.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever tell us where it is. But
Well, it's like PX421 or something like that. They
that
dropped the
Eminat
name.
brought them to.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not a good thing to see right there.
Right?
You are finally here. You are the only one who can save the boy, Danielle.
He's a Harsesis. He contains all their knowledge.
Amonet took the Abydonians as a show, so that Heru-Ur will not know her true goal.
To take the boy.
She has sent him into hiding with her closest aide.
Where?
Keb.
It's the mythical place where Osiris hid from Set. Keb is a myth.
No.
Where is it?
Promise me you will save the child.
Yeah, tell me where he is. Isn't it time for melodramatics? Give me the address. This works too. We can totally do this. That's all right.
You catch this, Jeff? We're back in real time now.
Yeah.
I love you, Danielle.
That's what actually happened.
Yeah. Well, so
Or happens.
everything, this whole episode
Has been
has all been in
a
that
day.
moment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Forever and a day. Or whatever.
I am sorry, Daniel Jackson.
You did the right thing, Teal'c.
I have literal goosebumps right now. Like, that was big. Oh, man.
Jill?
Daniel Jackson will be fine.
I love you too.
All right, Jeff. So we have just watched Forever in a Day, or, you know, Forever in a Moment, whatever, for the very first time. Jeff, I have to tell you before you go into your deal, this is one of those episodes I tend to not enjoy a whole lot.
Really?
I loved watching this episode with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I loved watching this episode for doing this the way that we're doing this. I have never enjoyed this episode as much as I have during this watch through right here. However, this is not about what Brent thinks about this episode. This is about what you think about this episode. Jeff, lay it on us, pal.
This might honestly be my favorite episode of Stargate SG1 to this point.
Shut up. No, it's
not.
Really?
There's a thing you say frequently, and it's so true, that if an episode can make me feel something, right?
Yeah.
Not even feel good, but feel something, it's good. As this episode wrapped up, I got for reals goosebumps that I like held up. If you're listening to the audio on this, and I should put it up to my camera, like this episode hit me in so many ways. This was an exciting episode. It was one of the things I love about Stargate is how it's episodic. And you say this, I'm repeating things you've said so many times, but they came to fruition here.
Oh, what?
Stargate's
What he's talking about?
Right?
Sorry,
It's almost like
that's what
you've
I just
watched
heard you
this.
say.
Yeah.
That's what I just heard you say is
Almost like you watched this before and know what you're doing. Who knew? Who knew? But no, for real, like this is an episodic show that sometimes pulls things out from past episodes. And this is one of those moments where so many episodes converge. Children of the Gods, Secrets, Need, in a way, even. Like so many of these things came together, these seeds that were planted in what is now like the arc, you know, for the next little while. In our very first episode of this podcast, I said the season 1 finale is going to be Daniel finding and freeing Sha're. What an incredible bit of subversion in this episode where, one, it took them 2.5 seasons to
just drop this in the middle of season 3 randomly.
Here you go. And honestly, like I have a note here, I'm a little upset this wasn't a 2-parter. Like I almost wish that they went into more detail and spent some more time on a few things.
Yeah.
Also, it was fine. Like, it's just that's just me being overindulgent. But it took 2.5 seasons to get to where I thought we were going to get in 1. And then they didn't save Sha're. They killed her. She dead. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. This whole time, I've been they're somehow going to find a way to get Aminette out of her and Sha're is going to be back or whatever. And whoa, the guts that it took to kill her, and in such a huge way. I think what was cool about this, and just looking back, when I watch this again, I'm going to see more of these, but there were little hints I picked up on, mostly with Kasuf, with Good Father, that show that this wasn't real. There were too many things happening where things just weren't right, or someone said or knew a thing, that I'm excited to watch this one again just for that reason. But look, like, we got the kid, right, that Apophis and Aminette came and had together. He's what's called a Harsesis.
Yeah. Yeah, this is important. Let's make sure we talk about this. Make sure you're clear on what this is. Yeah, he's a Harsesis child. Yep.
So the Harsesis is when the two hosts come together and reproduce. Basically two Talri or two Unas or what. I don't know. I'm just going to guess the two, whatever it is. They come together and those bodies reproduce and mate. All of the genetic memory of those Goa'uld are hidden, are in the memory of that kid. So they know everything. I imagine
of not just so think about it. So Goa'uld have genetic memory, which means that they have all the memory of all the Goa'uld who come before it.
Yes.
Their mother, their grandmother, so on and so forth, all the way back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Harsesis child, though, has the genetic memory of both lines.
Yeah. Do you know in science fiction, do you know what they call that? They call that the Kwisatz Haderach. This is the shortening of the way. This is where Stargate and Dune intersect perfectly. In the film, you see the baby and like she's conversing with Jessica and she's having some pretty, grown up thoughts. The gist with Alia is her genetic memory, and hers is just the female line, but her genetic memory burst open and was live while she was in utero. So she's in the womb, fully aware, and has thousands of years of memories to build off of. That sounds like the Harsesis. Wow. And I'll tell you what, between Alia, Muad'Dib, and Leto II, these 3 people who have a massive amount of genetic memory, they mess up the universe in a really big way. You could say they save it, but they make
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's why I tried to keep it really high level, So I'm excited for this. Piece.
So, but think about that for a second, though. Okay, here you have, so the child itself has the entire genetic memory of the Goa'uld, two lines of it going all the way back. They know all the secrets, all the knowledge of the Goa'uld who've come before it. They themselves do not have a Goa'uld.
Right?
They are not necessarily loyal to they know and understand that their parents are being used as parasitic hosts.
Yeah.
How much hatred do you think a Harsesis child as it grows up would have for the Goa'uld?
It really makes you
How
wonder.
much danger is that to the Goa'uld for that to be
exactly. Tilk talks about that, how like they are hunted voraciously. If it happens, it's forbidden, it's punishable by death, and when those kids is born, they're all hands on deck to go kill it. It makes me wonder, though, like, what if instead of that and I think it speaks to the danger, because what if they kept them and raised them and tried to recondition them? But that's probably not possible with just all of those memories, all the knowledge they have. They know more. Like, you're going to have little dude and you're going to have Aminette, and little dude knows more than Aminette.
Yeah.
An actual Goa'uld. It's huge, man. And what I think is cool about it is that Daniel, through all of this, tenders his resignation. He's done. And his reason for being done makes sense. I joined the SGC to find my wife, and there she is in the morgue. And we're about to bury her in a absolutely beautiful ritual and ceremony on Abydos.
Yeah.
Done. My mission's accomplished. Didn't end the way I wanted it to, but my mission is accomplished. Through these scenes, the visions that he has, the visions he has in his vision, she, time and again, you gotta find the boy. You gotta find the boy. Kasuf comes in. You gotta find the boy. He's getting beat over the head with you gotta find the boy. Why? He's the Harsesis. He is the Kwisatz Haderach. He's the shortening of the way. Go find him. Daniel had a why, and his why was completed. He has a new why, and he's back. I just felt as a point to put out there that's the power of knowing your motivation and knowing your why. He's back. He's all in. He's good. And I think part of that process for him and understanding his motivation is part of how he was able to move to forgiveness with Teal'c. That and Sha're telling him, forgive Teal'c. He did the right thing.
You got to get there. Yeah, you got to get there to it for sure.
And it's hard to do. We're going to talk about this more, I'm sure, when we get into the Chevron conversation. But, I mean, there were just two impossible situations that we watched in this episode. There's Daniel's spot where I even had to stop the video and try and wrap my mind around all the things going on for him. I mean, the physical manifestation of his wife with someone else inside just tried to kill him in a really awful way. One of his good friends came in and killed her, saving his life. But I mean, just so much there. And then here's Teal'c. I can watch my friend die, or I can kill his wife. There's no win out of this whole thing, but there is, because that's the power of forgiveness. Really.
Yeah.
I just to kind of wrap my thoughts up, and I want to leave a lot of time for the Chevron conversation because I have stuff for that also. The construct, the idea, the science fiction idea for this episode is fan-freaking-tastic. Forever in a day. Dude, in the moment between almost dying and Sha're getting staff blasted, he experiences all of this, the entire forgiveness journey. He experiences the processing of his why. He's able to work through all of these things so that in that moment, Teal'c just made that impossible, that Sophie's choice, right? Where he's just like, what horrible thing do I do? He picked one. And in seconds after that, Daniel's able to look at him and say, you did the right thing. Oh, that is so powerful. So incredible. Before we get to your conversation, it's time to update our tracking board. We're tracking a number of things. I don't think we got any. We didn't get any for crying out louds, indeeds, no deaths.
You know, I feel like we've probably missed a few indeeds at this point. Daniel did not die, so we cannot count this as a death for Daniel. We didn't get a new boyfriend for Sam. Nope. We didn't get any for crying out louds that I heard from Jack. But we did get something, and we are counting these. This isn't a part of our actual tracking sheet that we're doing, but we are counting these. This marks the 4th Goa'uld killed by SG1.
Yes.
Or at least major Goa'uld. I feel like we've done maybe 1 or 2 smaller ones, but this is the 4th major one. There was Ra, which was from the movie that you haven't seen in 20 years. There was Hathor, if you remember her.
Unfortunately.
There was Seth, who was their child, I think. Yeah, like we're like knocking off the family of Ra, right?
Right. And now
Amunet. Now they were around for Apophis's death, but they weren't really responsible for his death in a direct way.
They were responsible for the dignity with his death, but not the death part of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Apophis got what he got because he couldn't figure out SG1 anyway. Yeah. So we're not going to count Apophis on their to their credit, but we will count these other 4 to his credit. Amunet gone.
It's a pretty big deal.
You're picking these guys off, man.
Right? Yeah.
Boom,
boom, boom.
The other thing I want to do is, we instituted a while ago this kind of god-goddess check.
Yeah, the mythology piece. Yeah.
Well, this is a mythology check. There's no real god-goddess to go through. I want to go to the funeral scene, and you talk about how beautiful that ceremony was. They go through. You see the scales has the little monkey guy on top, and Daniel places the feather on the scale, and he says, if your heart is heavier than the feather, then you still have sin, and you can't go be with the God. Gods.
He said the God.
He said the God multiple times, and I was like, I don't know if it's just one, but whatever. This is actually a piece of real ancient Egyptian mythology. I have never in my studies, and I have taught ancient Egyptian mythology before in a classroom. So I'm not saying that I am an ancient Egyptian expert. I have simply taught it through curriculum a number of times.
You know more than the average bear.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I've never heard of this actually being part of a funeral process.
Okay.
However, part of the mythology is that when a person dies, they would go to Osiris. Osiris is the god of the underworld. All right. And he was kind of in later mythology, whatever. He was the god of the underworld. You would go, and where you would have your heart weighed against a feather on a set of scales.
Okay.
And so this whole process is actually fairly true to the myth of what would happen to your soul when you got down, you had to travel over water and all this sort of stuff. But it would weigh. And if your heart was heavier than the feather, that would mean that it still had sin in the heart. You still had guilt. You still had whatever. And basically there was like a dog with an alligator head chilling nearby, and he would like snatch you and drag you off to hell.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
If you were there. Otherwise, Osiris would let you cross and go on to be in, ancient Egyptian heaven. So, that was and like Apophis was usually standing there, and Anubis was there, and maybe not Apophis, but definitely Anubis was there as the I don't know. They had so many gods of the underworld, or gods of death, or gods of like whatever that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely had that. So that was a very real thing. I've just never seen it in part of a funeral thing, but I loved that they pulled that in, because that was pretty solid.
It really was. And I think I don't know, it's just really cool. I think another piece on the mythology thing we won't dive into now because it'll come up in a future episode, but the boy is apparently in Keb.
Oh yeah.
Which is a place where Osiris hid from Seth.
Yes.
But we don't know where Keb is. Daniel's like, it's a myth. It's a myth. And then Sha're like, I'm going to tell you, but before I do that, I'm going to kiss you because that's awesome. Also, now it's the end of your hallucination. So sorry.
Yeah. So as far as mythology of SG1 goes, you've got the two big pieces. Harsesis, bad for the Gould. We need to go find this kid.
Yeah, good for the Tali.
And he's hanging out in Keb, but we have no idea where that is. Cool. And you said Daniel now has a new mission for reasons.
He's got purpose. All right, let's talk sci-fi messages and chevrons.
Oh my
what
gosh,
do you got?
Jeff. Oh gosh, Jeff. I want to take this moment. If you're watching the Patreon version of this video, I've already said this, but for those of you on YouTube and for those of you listening to the audio version of this later, I would highly recommend, if you have not been following our Babylon 5 journey, or were not with us during that time, head over to the season 5 episode 2 titled Very Long Night of Londo Mollari. That episode really kind of wrapped up a running thread that led through, Jeff, basically the whole show.
So much of it. Yeah.
And it culminated in that particular episode. So that would be a great episode. I'm going to reference it a little bit here. And forgive me if I just assume people have already heard it, but I'm going to reference that. It's a great episode to go get what I'm going to call the other half of this conversation that I want to have tonight.
That's fair.
All right. Here's the deal. Daniel could not move on. Daniel could not do what he needed to do. Daniel could not embrace his new why, as you so eloquently put it just a second ago, Jeff, while he was withholding forgiveness. He had something against Teal'c. Teal'c asked for forgiveness, and Daniel said no. Effectively, right? On Babylon 5, we looked a lot at the side of what it means when you have something that you have done wrong to be quick to ask for forgiveness. And I'm not just saying turn around and say, will you forgive me? To really feel it, to really repent, to really be sorry, but then to actually say the words, will you forgive me? But here in Stargate SG1, in this episode, we actually get the discussion of the other side. What does it mean to issue forgiveness, to give forgiveness when somebody has done something to you or that hurts you or something of that nature? Daniel not only couldn't forgive, he wasn't willing to forgive. And I want to back that up. Daniel could forgive.
He could.
He just wasn't willing to forgive. And I think that's important to say. We're all capable of forgiving. To say that you can't is not a statement of ability. It's a statement of will.
It's a horribly debilitating statement of that's total victimhood. That
Yes,
you
it
can't
is.
do it.
Yes, it is. And I just want to say this because I'm well aware that we're going to have listeners out there who have been hurt wrongfully. Probably the person who hurt them does nothing to deserve forgiveness. They probably, in some cases, that person doesn't even realize they've done anything wrong. That person refuses to seek forgiveness. That person is not sorry for anything that they have done. Regardless of all of that, I'm well aware people have been hurt and they're holding on to some of that forgiveness. I would also like to say this from the outset, and I want to make this perfectly clear. You are 1,000% within your rights to not forgive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to spend the next few minutes encouraging you to forgive, but you are well within your rights not to. And I want to make that perfectly clear. Everything that I'm saying is in spite of your right. You have the right. In spite of that, this is how I want to have that talk. And in spite of might not be the right word. At the same time, I want to have the also to this, right? I'm not saying you're wrong to not forgive, all right? But I want to talk about a lot of what it does to you and where this episode really had the discussion. You know, Jeff, so often, particularly in the early seasons of SG1, they would present an issue and then they would never discuss it.
Exactly.
That's not what happened here. They presented an issue and they discussed it for the whole dang episode.
Every minute.
Saw the journey. We saw the journey that Daniel got to go on. Okay. Daniel was not willing to forgive. He was holding on to blame, hurt, and anger that all clearly led to him being one thing, and that's bitter. Because kind of like in Star Wars, anger leads to hatred, hatred leads to
all the other
whatever,
stuff,
and then it leads to the dark side.
Yeah.
Right? There's a truth to that. There really is a truth to that. Hanging on to this stuff, to anger, to blame. He was looking to place blame. My wife's dead and it's Teal'c's fault. My wife's dead and it's, oh wait, it was my fault because I didn't save her or whatever he said. He's holding on to the hurt. It led him to making bad choices. It led him to run away because listen, Daniel was running away. Let's be really clear. He was running away from the SGC. He was running, and he wasn't just running from the SGC. He wasn't just running from his job. He was running away from Teal'c. I'm sorry. Let's strike that back. He was running away from the hurt and the pain of the memories that would continually be dragged up if he had stayed and had to face Teal'c, the man who shot and killed his wife. But what I would venture to say is let's strike all of that. What he was actually running away from, Jeff, was the fact that the only way he could continue in the SGC, the only way he could continue to see Teal'c every day, the only way he could continue on SG1 as a part of that team is to issue forgiveness to Teal'c. And I would submit to you that that is in fact what he was really running from. He was really running from having to issue forgiveness because he didn't want to forgive. He wanted to hold on to the anger, the hurt, and the bitterness. He didn't feel like he could let it go, even though it was a choice he was making. You know, just as much as I say, and again, go to that Very Long Night of Londo Mollari episode, just as much as I say we should be quick to turn from our ways and seek forgiveness, we need to be just as quick, Jeff, if not quicker, to freely and openly issue forgiveness.
Yeah.
Oh, but Brent, you don't understand what they've done to me. You're right, I probably don't. But I can tell you for your own sake, for your own heart, you will never be free. You will never be able to live your life free by hanging on to whatever unforgiveness you're hanging on to. Back when we did Very Long Night of Londo Mollari, Jeff, I got a lot of pushback in the comments, and I never responded to these. I got a lot of pushback in the comments from people saying, well, no. I'll say I'm sorry. I'll say I ask forgiveness. I'm never going to say will you forgive me? And the reason they gave was because it puts pressure on the other person to forgive, and they might not be ready to forgive. And that just puts a burden on them. And I'm not going to put a burden on them. To which I unashamedly say BS.
I agree.
Sorry. That is not going to fly here. I also say this, good. Because you know what's best for that person is to forgive. It is not good for anyone to hang on to that bitterness. Oh, but they did this. They killed this person. They did this to me. That was awful. It was horrible. In no way, shape, or form am I diminishing that. But your own sake, your own heart, that the heaviness of your heart is not light as a feather when you're hanging on to unforgiveness.
Ooh, yeah.
You cannot pass that scale test when you're hanging on to that. hatred. I've often heard it said, and I find it so appropriate. I've said it here at By Nerds for a while, Jeff. I've heard you repeat it. I'm going to say it again. Hanging on to bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It is a poison to your soul, people, to your psyche, to your well-being, to your physical health, to your mental health. Asking for forgiveness, the other half of this, is only one half of the way to restoration, or to, let's use our favorite word here, redemption. Issuing forgiveness is the other half. Just like in the story where Daniel could not get on with what he needed to do, he couldn't do the thing that he was supposed to do, the thing that he was being commissioned by his wife to go do, the thing that he was destined to do, the thing that he alone was uniquely qualified. Who is more qualified to go seek this Harsesis child than Daniel Jackson?
For real, yeah.
He is uniquely qualified to do this job, and I dare say he really is the only person who could do it. He could not do that while holding on to bitterness. It took Sha're 4/5 of this episode, if not more, to get Daniel to forgive. That was the whole crux of this episode, because once he was able to forgive, she could give him new orders, she could sell him what's up, tell him where to go, and he was able to get on with the job. But he had to stay in this spot where he could forgive. Again, I go back to Ben Sisko. Ben Sisko at the beginning of Deep Space Nine was holding on to anger and bitterness, and he could not do the thing that he needed to do until he was able to forgive Picard. Not the Borg, not the people that actually murdered his wife. Picard.
One person, that the embodiment of everything for him.
Could not, because he lived here. He always lived here.
It is not linear.
It is not linear. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I'm talking about something here that doesn't make sense. I hope that this is hard for people, because it is something that we all need to hear. But I also hope that this is freeing for people to hear. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to issue a sermon here, Jeff. I'm really not trying to do that. Like I say, you have the absolute right not to forgive. You can choose that. But I'm telling you, if you make that choice, you are cutting yourself off from being able to live your own best life, from being able to live your fullest life. You will never be at peace with yourself if you choose to hang on to bitterness and not forgive, which is your right. But not only are you going to be trapped in that muck and the mire, the rest of the world, those around you, your family, your friends, the people that you would impact are going to be missing your impact. The thing that you uniquely are qualified to do in their life, the thing that you are the only one who could actually make happen, that is then going to be taken away from other people. I'll wrap this up by saying this. I want to plead with everyone out there listening to the sound of our voices. If there is something you're holding on to, do the work. It is not easy to forgive. It's not. But do the work to lead to forgiveness and issue that forgiveness. And here's the really cool thing. You don't need the other person to seek forgiveness in order for you to issue forgiveness. Those are two mutually exclusive, independent things. Jeff, I know you have some things to say, but I'm just going to go ahead and issue. This is a 7 chevron. Jeff, I'd even get this, because this one doesn't even exist in the realm of humanity. This goes to the soul, to the person. This is an 8 chevron episode.
Heck yes. This takes us to Asgard. Takes us that far.
Oh, gosh.
Right. So I wanted to bring to this a lot. This is some super personal stuff. I've been doing a lot of forgiveness work myself. At the time of recording this a couple months ago, I had a person do a really, really awful, horrible, hurtful thing to me that was awful and bad. And to your point, Brent, about like when you can't forgive, the people around you are affected and don't get the best in you. You saw it firsthand many times. Like we would come here to record, or we wouldn't because of it. And I'm like, hey, I have this like rah that I got to get off my chest before we can go and do this thing. And thank you for being so willing to take all of that from me as we were moving forward with it. But forgiveness, what I've learned on my journey is that forgiveness actually doesn't have, like what you were saying, doesn't have to have anything to do with the other person. In my case, forgiveness, it's a me thing. In Daniel's case, it's a Daniel thing. It's not about telling Tilk that you forgive him. Hey, that's great. Tilk probably, I mean, you saw it in that moment, right? And he says, you did the right thing. He's like, okay, all right, cool, good. But that isn't, it's you, right? Like in my case, the perpetrator against things, they're living a high life. They're doing great, whatever. You know, I'm the one, over here waking up at 4:18 every morning with my mind spinning out of control. I'm the one blowing off commitments and things like that because I have this thing in me. So forgiveness is a you thing, right? And I think when you accept that, it makes it a little bit easier because what forgiveness is not, forgiveness is not condoning what happened. It's not accepting what happened, and it's not saying that it's okay for it to happen in the future. I heard a great quote from someone in a relationship kind of context around forgiveness. They said that a great way to approach it is to say to the person, either to their face or in your own mind as you're working on it, I can see that what you were doing worked for you at the time, but it never, ever worked for me. It's not saying they were doing the best they could. It's saying that in that moment, it worked for them. Didn't work for you. So you're not accepting anything. It took me from the time of what happened to me to the time I decided to actually dedicate myself to forgiveness. It took me, it took 92 days, 92 days for me to get there. And that was a while ago. I'm still working on it. But I want to really quickly share what I've developed is a 4-step process to forgiveness. We go back to the Long Night of Londo Mollari. Go back to passing through Gethsemane on our Babylon 5 thing. We talk about the steps of an apology and things like that. I've come up with, and this is the first time I've shared these, but 4 steps to forgiving that I'm personally working through. And step 1 is expressing the hurt and being heard. Now, being heard doesn't mean that person has to hear you. You need to hear you. I can tell you what, when I was talking to that person who wasn't in front of me, it was just, I was just talking to the thought of them, the spirit of them. There's some stuff that came out that needed to come out, and it was uncontrollable, this vomit of emotion. And it felt pretty awesome after those things were said, and I heard them said. So do that work. Step 2 is to release the control over how the other person is going to react or respond. You don't have any control. They're going to whatever they're going to do. So accept that. Step 3 is taking accountability. Step 3 is understanding that they will be held accountable and will have to take accountability. The thing about that, though, is you may not ever see that accountability. You may not know what that accountability is. It may not happen in the way, the time, or the place that you wish it would, but in some time and place, depending on your belief system, that accountability will be there. And step 4 is to let go. Once you have done that work, you can actually let go and forgive. And that's not saying it's okay. That's stopping drinking the poison is what that's doing. That's all it is. And I'll tell you, I'm not there all the way. I still have work to do, but just doing the work I have done, oh my God, it feels incredible. Incredible. And it feels empowering, to be really honest. Like I feel like I have agency again. It's hard. It takes so much strength to forgive, but to do it, you have to completely give, you have to, what is it? Bend like the reed, be strong, but bend like the reed and let it go. I could not possibly agree more. This is an 8 Chevron episode. This was incredible. I'm eager to get to the next part of our discussion here.
If I may, Jeff. It has been incredible to be alongside you in this journey over, frankly, what's been a very long time.
It has been a long
It's been a lot longer than 92 days.
Yes.
Although that work has been happening. And what you say there is fantastic. It is an ongoing process, but what you have done, and if I'm wrong and I'm reading this wrong, please feel free to correct me. You made a choice to forgive. Now you're doing the work to fully realize that. But the thing is, you made the choice.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's the forgiveness, is you made the choice. And you still have the work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more work to do, but that's where it starts. It's not you do the work and now you make the choice. You make the choice. I'm going to forgive. I do forgive. Now we're going to work out what that actually looks like.
I couldn't do the work until I tried doing the work first. Because I've been doing a lot of work for a long time on things, and I tried putting that cart in front of the horse. It didn't work. And even making the choice wasn't this like binary moment. It took me some time to even truly make the choice. And I think part of it was understanding and accepting the thing, as I said, that forgiveness is not, but also accepting that forgiveness is not the end of the story. There are still going to be things that get activated for you. There's my little thumbs up. Thank you. Now I'm using a Mac. But there's still going to be the things that activate you. There's still going to be times you get angry. There's still going to be times that you don't feel great about a thing. Forgiveness is not gone, right? It's still there. But as you do that work, the work of forgiveness, when you do the work to make the choice and you make the choice, then you do the work, those times and moments are fine. They're going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to happen and you're going to be okay.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of times forgiveness is a choice you wake up and you have to make every day.
And sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you do that, you can move forward. You can, and Jeff, I will tell you, you have been better as of late.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you're still not where you want to be or where you need to be, but frankly, who is? Right. You know,
that's the journey.
I'll give one more piece, and this is Brent's own testimony, if that's the right word. Here's the deal. I tend to be a person who is very quick to forgive. It is not immediate for me. Okay. Nobody makes me angrier than my wife and my kids. Okay. Like they push those, but they can just really,
they're the ones
right
who are where to go
all the time. You know what I mean? And there are times when things happen that, my wife is a person who is super quick. She wants to resolve conflict like right now. And so if something happens, sometimes I send my kid to his room, because I need space for a moment. Not that I'm going to ground him, not that he's in trouble, not that X, Y, Z. I need space for a moment to calm down. You know what I mean? Like but I also am quick to get there. You know, I just need to breathe. Let me calm down and come back. My kid has never done anything to me that is detrimental. Okay. There are people out there who have really solid detrimental things that have happened. You, for example, and I'm not going to put your business out there, but anyway, it may take some time, a bit of time, but the quicker you can get there. Oh, this is what I was going to say. The only reason, and what generally in those few moments, what goes through my head is the only reason why I can come to forgiveness is because I have been forgiven. Jeff, I was not a good dude. There was a time in my life, I've often said, I am not a person who believes that people don't change. I believe people change. I know people change because I have changed.
Yeah.
And people have to change because otherwise I am not changed. And I'm still the same crappy, dirty, awful, ugly human being that I once was. And I'm not that anymore. So I know people change. You know, I have been forgiven a lot, which helps me to forgive a lot. And usually that's where I go to is I know my own junk. And remembering that helps me to forgive others. It just does. That's my own thing. Again, that's Brent's own testimony. 8 chevrons. I feel like we've driven this into the ground. I would say this. I am not a certified counselor. I've had some counseling classes. I'm not a certified counselor, but I have made this offer before, and I will make this offer again. Sometimes people need a stranger to talk to. They need somebody who's not in their life, somebody who's not in their circle, somebody they're not going to run into at the grocery store. If I can be that for you, my email and my DMs are open at Brent Allen Live across all the social medias. You know, hit us up, shoot us an email over at our webpage, bynerds.com. I think is what we're at, Jeff. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bynerds.com. You can click an email form, shoot us an email. I would, if I can serve you in that way, guys, I make that offer to everybody. I'm happy to, not as a counselor, but just to be a voice, to be an ear, to just be somebody you can talk to if you want. It's there. But I beg you all to forgive. All of that, Jeff. Very huge Christmas bow. I think I know where this next part is going.
Probably.
I really almost just feel silly in going through it, but it is the exercise of the moment. I rate, you rank. That's how this show works. Jeff, we are doing our definitive 100% completely accurate ranking of season 3 of Stargate SG1. Our current ranking sits at number 1 is Fair Game. Jeff, where would you like to place this episode, Forever in a Day?
Yeah, Forever in a Day is our new number 1. If you didn't know that from the second we came out of the episode, then you haven't been paying attention.
I have to tell you, Jeff, no way, shape, or form would I have put that at number 1 coming into this episode today.
Wow, that's incredible.
No way.
I think one of my favorite things about this project we're doing are the times you can share that, where you're like, I've seen this episode 800,047 times and whatever, But this lens, this experience, this whatever has completely changed it for me. I just love hearing that.
I would currently place this at number 6 between Legacy and Dead Man's Switch.
Okay.
But I would also have placed Rules of Engagement higher. And yeah, that's probably about it. Maybe Point of View, possibly. Anyway, that's just Brent. This is what Brent would have done.
Totally fair.
Hold on. I gotta scroll through my notes here.
Right.
Hold on, where was I? Well, Jeff, that is going to do it here for Forever in a Day. We're going to wrap that episode. It's time to start looking towards the next one. Man, I got to tell you, this is one of those, I almost feel sorry for the next episode.
Oh, no.
How,
right?
No, how the heck do you follow this up?
Yeah.
You know, and for whatever people think, I mean, Jeff, as you said, if an episode can make you feel, I don't care. I don't care if it's the Mutadol fighting somebody. If it makes you feel, oh man. But we're gonna watch it and we're gonna see what it can do. It's an episode called Past and Present. I will give you a hint. This is a sequel episode. This is the only thing I'm gonna tell you. This is we had an episode earlier in our run of SG1. I'm not gonna tell you where. This is the sequel to that episode. That's the only thing I'm gonna tell you.
What comes to mind, and you'll be able to tell what other TV I've been watching when I say this is in the title of it that brings me past and present.
Past and present, yeah. Past
and present. It conjures up for me second season episode Deep Space Nine Past Prologue, which I just watched a little while ago.
That was first season episode, wasn't it? Wasn't that like the second episode?
Yes.
Like right after Emissary?
It was the third episode. Yeah, because there was Emissary Babel and then this one. Why did I think it was second season? I don't know. Either way, just watched it. And I think Catherine Powers wrote it.
Oh, yeah?
I think.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she wrote Past Prologue. Catherine Powers, our lady who brought us Emancipation.
Yeah.
And
Thor's
Brief
Hammer.
Candle. And Thor's Hammer.
I think this is going to be a sequel to Secrets. Secrets is the one where we kind of had the was it Secrets? The underground, like the people tracking Jack through Washington D.C. and kind of looking at like that whole
That's where we met Jacob.
Yeah, for the
Sam's
first
dad.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be that, and we're going to start getting some look at some terrorist, more like terrorist sort of a things. And I'll just follow the Past Prologue thing. There's going to be someone involved in that whole thing that comes to the SGC, not in terms of like, I'm going to get you, but in terms of like, I need to tell you what's going on. And like almost like in Past Prologue, he came looking for asylum. They're not going to do that in this one. It's going to come looking for like, look, I want to defect almost. I want to come to your side and tell you all this stuff. Start telling you the stuff that's going on.
You're a good guesser, Jeff.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted a chance to talk about Deep Space Nine.
You know, it's not a bad thing to try to talk about.
True.
Hey, listen, that's going to do it for us here on this week of SG1 for the first time. We'll find out if Jeff is right or wrong next week. You could watch the episode before you come here, or you could go to YouTube and watch the episode along with us. Hey, listen, if you don't do that, don't worry. You can catch the audio podcast wherever you get your podcast. Please don't forget, however you consume this show, wherever it is, don't forget to subscribe, to click, hit a bell icon, hit like, leave us a rating and review. Those are super important in whatever situation. Comments, leave us comments. We love to respond to those. Please be sure to do that. And more importantly than anything else, share this show. Share the podcast, share the YouTube channel, share it with somebody that you know that loves Stargate SG1, or somebody who, like my friend Jeff over there, needs to fall in love with this incredible series for the very first time. So until next time, folks, we're going to get out of here.
Brent.
We will see. Yes, Jeff.
I actually didn't come up with an ending for this one because I was so wrapped up in the episode. Brent, this was a great one. I really enjoyed it.
For crying out loud.
fun thing
Jeff.
for Club 65.
Hey, I've got a few things too. Go for it, man.
All right. So is this? I have recently learned in this woo woo kind of wild thing called Akashic Records. There's going to be somebody out there who's watching this right now, going, "Oh my gosh, Akashic Records! Someone else knows about this thing." This was literally today that I started learning about this. But the gist is, this is an energy that you can tap into, where it's almost like your own personal Chat GPT. Where I can like ask it questions like I can ask questions of the Akashic Records of like, should I sell my house right now? Am I in the right job? What should I do with my life? There's basically this energy that knows the things that should, like, you're meant to do and where you're meant to be.
Weird.
Kind of very weird. But I was watching this, I'm like, when I thought I didn't realize what the gimmick of the show was, I'm like, Sha're are Daniel's Akashic Records. Forgive Teal'c. Go find the boy. Like, telling him the things. And I'm like, dude, if this Akashic Records thing is almost like, there's a free course that I just got. It doesn't cost anything. You just have to give them your email address and then go unsubscribe as soon as they start sending you emails. But I'm going to take, it's just 5 videos. I'm going to learn what's going on. But like, if that's a real thing and it works at all like Sha're did in this thing, I'll be all in on Akashic Records. I thought it was fun.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
Yeah,
But you're also in that weird Pacific Northwest area. I'm just a yokel down here, living in the great free state of Florida.
Yeah.
All hail the great potentate. He might not be the great potentate by the time this episode goes.
Right? Yeah, we could. But we definitely have a different energy up here. That's a
yes, you do.
thing.
Yes, you do. Well, you know what we have down here? It's no state income tax. That's what we have.
There is that, which we learned pretty difficultly here this last season. But I do think today you sent me this great, I think it was today, this great text, just this line of Subarus, and you're like, oh, I think this is your neck of the woods.
It's just it was somebody that I know was in a elementary school parking lot. And this is just like all the parents dropping off their kids, and just everybody's in literally the exact same car.
Yeah,
it wasn't just they were all Subarus. It's like they were all what is it, the Outback or whatever?
Like, that or a Forester. I don't know.
Highlanders, whatever. Yeah. All right, so I got a couple things. This is that notes that I had that just didn't work into the conversation. Like, I was going to try to force them in. I was like, no, I'm going to save them for Club 65 because this is Club 65. Welcome if this is your first time here. Club 65 is the after show. This is the show for everybody who decides to stick around through the end of the credits. If you're here for the very first time, welcome. You have now been inducted into the club. All we ask you to do is 2 things. 1, drop a 65 down below in the comments. The more creative you get with the way to work that 65 in, the better it is. But you could also just say 65. That just lets us know you're here. But also, don't talk about this thing. Don't tell people what it is. They got to find it on their own.
You earned this. We're almost 2 hours in and you're still here.
Right. You've earned it. You're here. If it's kind of like Fight Club, like if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. We don't talk about Club 65. We don't tell. If people have to ask you what Club 65 is, or if they have to float an idea like, okay, I think I got it. Is it this? If they're not 100% sure what Club 65 is, then they don't know what Club 65 is.
They don't know.
You now can know 100% sure what Club 65 is. Here we go. Jeff, couple things we learned. Daniel Jackson, by the way, I'm going to start calling him D-Jax.
D-Jax, I like that.
D-Jax, that's a great way to put it in my notes. D-Jax, his birthday is July 8th.
Yeah, caught that.
Yeah. Sha're gets killed in this one, which, as you said, this is exactly what I said. You've been waiting for this episode for a long time.
Yes, since episode 1.
From Children of the Gods. Like, this is where we're going for the season, and it's going to be Daniel getting back with Sha're. And I'm like, well, he ain't going to get back with her, but, And then it didn't. It just wound up being with Apophis and Skara and all them. Sha're was nowhere to be found in that episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been waiting on you to get to this episode for a long time. Basically, here's the thing. So Share's done. She's out.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. She is not coming back for another episode. All right. My theory behind this, though, like my real world theory, was they went through this basically because they're just trying to let D-Jax be like the little freak he is.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, how many people has he hooked up with?
Right.
This married dude how many people has he hooked up with just in the 2.5 seasons we've been around?
He birthed like 300 Goa'ulds in that hot tub.
Remember the chick with the sarcophagus? Now I know she was screwing with his mind, but still, like
that was a need. I think was that one.
Yeah, and a few others. He's the guy. He is like the William Riker of Stargate SG1. Go figure, right? Right. Man, I'm glad we're not doing the buzzers anymore because we'd have blown through those.
Quick.
There is a moment in this episode where Teal'c calls Daniel just Daniel, not Daniel Jackson.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Well, it's such a big deal. It only happens twice in the entire series.
Really?
Only twice in the whole series. Yeah. So yeah. Those are a few little notes that I picked up on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
For us here. So anyway, oh my gosh. Hey, what an episode. What a flargity. I got it. This is an episode I tend to skip.
Really?
I do. Well, because like when you're not watching it for messages and you're not watching it with somebody, you're not going through all of that. I mean, people have been around this channel for a while. They know me. Like, God, this episode's boring. It's like, oh my gosh, come on. Like, I get it. I've been through the emotional side of this before. Like, it's fine. Like, let's just move on. Kids in Keb. Let's go to Keb.
There were definitely some pretty lull parts of the episode, but they made sense. And I think that's the key thing. I think the big thing in this project we're doing is, Keb, the journey and all those things.
I know how long it's going to take us to not get to Keb.
Yeah, right.
Like, I know where that journey is going to lead us at the end.
And I heard Keb for the first time in my life today.
Yep.
So now, this is awesome.
So let me put this to you. Do you think we're going to get to Keb?
I do.
Or are we going to be redirected somewhere else? Or are we going to discover that Keb was actually on Earth the entire time or something?
I was going to say, this is basically Battlestar Galactica. We'll end up somewhere that's fine. It's fine. And then just suddenly, randomly end the series.
I'm just going to say Battlestar Galactica did pick that up from somewhere.
Right. It had to come from somewhere. We shall see.
I'm not saying. I'm just not going to tell you.
Cool. We should get out of here. It's been a long time we've spent with everybody. This is great. I love this episode, though. This is great.
Hey, listen, if you want your Club 65 gear.
Oh, that's right.
Jeff's pointing like we're going to throw up the link at the bottom of the screen. But
I just put up an image. I don't know if you can click it. I don't think you can click it.
You do. Are you going to actually put it up?
I do all the time.
On Stargate?
Yeah.
You touch the Stargate stuff?
Yeah, I make the Patreon video.
Oh, that's right. You do. Okay. Yeah. So throw that up there. Hey, check out that link that Jeff's just like, I've been sitting here acting like a maroob, like it's not there, but of course it's right there. I mean, can't you see it? Jeez, Brent. But it's bit.ly/B5 Club 65. We got to update that link there.
Capital
Jeff.
B, capital C. That's very important.
Yep. We need to update that link.
We do. It's not hard to make a new bit.ly. We can just do that. It's not hard, but I just need to make sure the graphic changes too.
Hey, listen, regardless of what we just said, go with what's written down there.
Yeah, do that. It'll get you there.
But you get some cool gear. T-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, car window covers, whatever you want.
We had face masks back when those were a thing. Like,
sure we did.
Yeah, we did.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks, guys, so much. We'll see you next time.
See ya.